Hi, my name is Cecilia.
And my name is Celine.
And our case study is about abortion. President Ronald Reagan addressed the 15th annual March for Life rally on January 22, 1988. During Reagan's campaign for president, he strongly advocated for pro-life and would support a human life amendment to the Constitution. Congress never approved the amendment, but Reagan wanted the people to know where he stood. The March for Life rally happens every year during the anniversary of the Roe v. Wade court case. The first March for Life walk happened in 1974, with the next rally taking place on January 29, 2021, their 47th anniversary. In 1987, there was a blizzard the day of the march, yet 10,000 people still marched up Constitution Avenue through the snow. Roe v. Wade is a case about a woman named Norma McCubby, nicknamed Jane Roe, who wanted to abort her third child but lived in Texas where abortion was illegal. The case set up a proposal to abandon the framework of abortion that was based on the age of the fetus. Doe v. Bolton was another case that tried to overturn the abortion law in Georgia, happening at the same time. Justice Blackmun, author of Majority Opinion, worked on both cases during the summer of 1972. Majority Opinion happens when more than half of the Supreme Court agrees upon a conclusion. He stated, if that termination makes a case moot, pregnancy litigation seldom will survive much beyond the trial stage, and appellate review will be effectively denied. Abortion is legal in all U.S. states, and every state has at least one abortion clinic. Some states, such as Alabama, only allow abortion in cases where there are health risks to the mother, but not in cases of rape or incest. Other states ban abortions after a certain amount of time. Georgia laws ban abortion as soon as there is a heartbeat, which can occur as soon as 6 weeks into the pregnancy. Presumption is a concept that was developed in 1828 by Richard Whately. It is a predisposition to believe that a claim is correct until overwhelming evidence proves otherwise. People argue over the presumption of when life begins. Reagan's presumption was that a fetus is a full person. This doesn't prove that abortion is wrong, but Reagan was hopeful that it would sway those who were uncertain about abortion. A legal presumption is a conclusion based upon a particular set of facts combined with established laws, logic, or reasoning. It is a rule of law which allows a court to assume a fact is true until it is rebutted. A logical presumption is a non-deductive probable inference which involves a hypothesis. In this case, Reagan's hypothesis is that a fetus is considered as a full person and therefore should not be terminated. We all know that the choice of words is important, otherwise there wouldn't be that distinction between fetus and baby. The word baby does not have the same connotation as fetus. People who are pro-choice tend to choose the word fetus as it sounds more scientific. The word killing does not have the same connotation as terminating. When you hear terminating the fetus versus killing the baby, the latter has a much stronger connotation. The National Right to Life organization is the nation's oldest and largest pro-life organization. It started in 1968 with their motto being Protecting Life in America since 1968. It's recognized as the flagship of the pro-life movement and works through legislation and education to protect human life from abortion. Mary Ann St. Cloud was known as a pro-life heroine. The March for Life organization called her a lifelong defender of the humanity, rights, and lives of the unborn. She started to fight the pro-abortion laws and culture when she moved to Sacramento in the 1970s. There, she founded the Committee to Defend the Unborn with a few other women. Bound for Life was a grassroots pro-life organization in the United States. The non-profit organization was founded in 2004 by Lou Engle and Brian Kim. The key concept of this group was to gather together for a silent prayer, not a protest, in front of the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington, D.C., with the word life written on red tape across their mouths.
The abortion reform movement emerged in the 1960s when women's rights activist groups developed their own skills to provide abortions to women who could not obtain them elsewhere. For example, there is a group known as Jane in Chicago that operated a floating abortion clinic throughout the 1960s. In 2015, the House of Representatives voted to defund Planned Parenthood. #ShoutOutYourAbortion was launched by Lindy West, Amelia Bonos, and Kimberly Morrison on the same day. In response to the success of the fetal heartbeat bill in 5 states in 2019, the You Know Me movement arose as well. Jerry Santoro of Connecticut died trying to obtain illegal abortion. After her marriage fell in 1963 due to domestic violence, she had an unexpected pregnancy with a guy named Clyde Dixon. They had no choice but to do a self-induced abortion, which resulted to her death of excessive bleeding. Abortion is legal and is a government service available on request for women within China. There was a one-child policy for population control until 2015. They changed it to a two-child policy. Statistics show that in 2008, there was an estimate of 13 billion abortions that were performed and around 10 million abortion pills that were sold within that. Statistics showed that with sex-selective abortion in 2001, 117 boys were born to every 100 girls, leading to understand that families preferred the male gender. But in 2005, an action plan was launched in order to normalize the sex ratio of newborns by 2010. In South Korea, their government criminalized abortion in 1953 under the Criminal Code in all circumstances. Either it was self-induced abortions by pregnant women or by medical professionals. Self-induced abortions can lead to 1 year in prison, while professional abortions can lead to 10 years in prison. South Korea's Maternal and Child Health Law in 1973 permits physicians to perform abortion if pregnant woman or spouse suffers certain hereditary or communicable diseases, rape, incest, or jeopardized health. If fetus is diagnosed with Down syndrome, abortion is considered illegal. Based on a survey from 2005, 25 hospitals and 176 clinics estimated 342,433 induced abortions were performed, which 330,000 of them were illegal. But by 2017, the number of abortions performed per year declined to 50. For Ireland, since 1983, their 8th Amendment was a near-total abortion ban and restricted maternity care. It gave both mother and fetus equal legal status and criminal charges against women who seeked for abortion. It was not until May 2018 voters in Ireland decided to legalize abortion in a historic referendum.